The most obvious answer to that question seems to be yellow. The works by Vincent that went on to become the most famous were made in yellow colors. He painted them in the southern French town of Arles, capturing the sunflowers, the yellow house, and the vast landscapes of wheat fields, sowers and mowers under a blistering sun. So Vincent certainly loved yellow, but he actually liked all colors. Vincent used bold, bright colors in his pictures from his French period, and it's these colors that come to mind when we think of him. But before his time in France, he made much darker pictures. Most people say that these early Dutch works aren't as colorful, but if you take a closer look, you can find color everywhere in Vincent's work. In the summer of 1884, Vincent threw himself into studying the laws of color and into books about color theory. Vincent learned that complementary colors, colors from opposite sides of the color wheel, red and green, blue and orange, yellow and purple, that these colors intensify each other when placed together. As he wrote to his brother Theo in November 1885, "I'm utterly preoccupied with the laws of color. If only we'd been taught them in our youth." In Vincent's Dutch period, this color theory is still to make an impact in his work. This is because instead of using the complementary colors next to each other, he mixed them into, let's say, muddy colors. Vincent's use of color changed when he went to Paris, where Impressionism and modern painting were all the rage. It was all about using a bright color palette. When Vincent saw Impressionists and Pointillist paintings with his own eyes in Paris, he swapped the darker tones on his palette for brighter, unmixed colors. It was a real game changer for Vincent. His colors intensified and became more powerful. Key to Vincent's use of color was the idea that painters didn't need to use the actual colors in order to create a convincing illusion of reality. He became famous for his expressive coloring and free personal choice of colors. Vincent wrote to his brother Theo, "A painter does well if he starts from the colors on his palette, instead of starting from the colors in nature. Color expresses something in itself," he said. The change in his use of color is clear to see in a self-portrait from 1887-1888, which is dominated by the primary colors yellow and blue. In 1888, Vincent predicted that the painter of the future is a colorist such as there hasn't been before. As it turned out, he himself was that painter. Vincent became a guide for a new generation of color seekers.